Hello, welcome everybody to the first campaign session of Record of Gaia Group 2. So I got all the players here, we got the story ready, we're gonna get this kicked off with this music and then get to going. Alright, everybody. So, amidst a tapestry of legends, both old and new, where the world is young but the knowledge is old, with cerulean skies and eldritch magic crackling in the air, a new record of heroism and adventure unfolds. In a land known as Gaia, the delicate equilibrium between light and dark is teetering. The realms are one, but pulling themselves apart in an attempt to increase their own power and influence over the world. The Twilight Lands, belonging to all creatures of shadow, darkness, solitude, and mystery. The Principality of Fae, an enchanting land of whimsy and trickery. The Zephlax Empire, home to those that find themselves without magic, as well as creatures that revere life like a clock, ever changing, full of wonder, yet is based on what they see as the material for all life and a template of perfection. Vasquet, a region that little is known about and poses the greatest mystery of all. This story, however, begins near a small forested region within the Principality of Fae, where we find our separate wanderers meandering towards a shared location of Swazu. Genevieve, for the last 9 days, you have been traveling from your training camp and facility on a mission to find the first of three of those marked in a book via the vision of your uh, mentor at the time. Is there anything that you have been doing in these last 9 days to prepare yourself for arrival of or at your destination? What have you been up to?
Um, I feel like, um, she comes from a place where, like, strength is the most important thing. So definitely every night she's been using those dumbbells that she took from, or that she got from her one of her mentors,
Mm-hmm.
and has been working out every night. Um, Also, like any time uh, that she walks through any place where there are people, she's been trying to put up a front of like, I'm super cool and like badass and don't mess with me, um which has not been very good for her, like, when she asks for directions and she goes up to someone and she's like, I'm going to Swazu, where is it? And they're like, why are you so aggressive? But she's really trying to put on that aggressive front. But I don't think she's been doing anything in particular besides, working with her sort of new abilities and, occasionally like crashing into something, taking a little bit of damage, and just like touching it to be like, whoa, I healed that. Or like trying out her new first level spells that I'm picking right now. Um,
Okay.
and that sort of thing. I don't think she's doing anything particularly interesting.
All right. As you arrive at what seems to be about an hour from Swazu, go ahead and make me a perception check, please. As you're kind of walking, you catch on the wind very briefly some light pan flute music. It seems very festive, very welcoming, seemingly coming from deeper in the forest. So you've been kind of walking on this forest trail, this pretty well worn forest trail at this point. It seems to be a pretty well traveled path going in the general direction of where you're going. It's split off many times into little side villages and towns and little less traveled paths. But you hear this music, you kind of catch it on the wind. And as you look over, you see there's like a deeper thicket or thacket. Is that the word I'm looking for? A deeper grove of trees in the forest where this more festive music seems to be coming from. And it, that's the word, thicket. Um, and it kind of gets your attention. Um, so it gets your interest more than anything has recently in your travels, other than your normal people. But just kind of being out on the road, nothing's really been worth investigating. But this is something different, something new, maybe fun. What do you do?
I mean, I feel like fun means get out a weapon and be ready.
Okay.
For Jean,
Okay.
I don't feel like she knows how to have fun any other way. So she doesn't want to be. She doesn't feel like this is necessarily aggressive fun. So she's gonna take out her javelin instead of her longsword.
Okay.
Um, and just kind of like poke into the thicket with it, and just sort of like brace herself for being intimidating again and just kind of
Okay.
do like a that you would like do behind like a
Yeah.
wall, but there isn't a wall. It's just like outside of a thicket, and anyone
Yeah.
on the other side could totally hear her being like, "You got this. You're intimidating. You're great." And then like just charges in looking for whatever is pulling her into the thicket there.
As you push deep into the thicket, you kind of push through the brush quickly, and you find yourself in this small, kind of reclusive glade with humanoid sized mushrooms, big rocks, downed trees, many colors. All these mushrooms are everything from oranges and reds and blues and purples to weird fluorescent colorings. You see a small pond with a large boulder in the middle of it, and nature in here is more thriving in comparison to the already thriving nature that you saw. This seems to be more of a magically imbued, thriving glade right off the cusp of your path here.
I'm gonna like go up to a big mushroom and just like glare at it and go, "Can I eat you?"
You don't get any response one way or the other, so you certainly can try.
Um, I'm gonna one sec. I'm gonna roll to see if I'm hungry. Yes, I'm hungry.
All right.
Um, going to. I don't feel like I have like a small knife in my inventory, which seems to be 100% a fault on my. Um, so I'm just gonna take out my long sword and try and cut off a bit of big old mushroom.
As you take off this bit of big old mushroom, you start to have like you look around, the nature around you almost starts to bend in space. It's like the images start to kind of stretch out, sounds get a little slower and a little louder. Everything kind of seems to be changing shape and form and color. And go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
You do feel magic around you kind of weighing on you. And as you're feeling
Oh,
this,
I rolled a natural 20. Oh,
mm-hmm,
so
um,
sad.
and as you feel the magic kind of weighing on you and enjoying the taste of this mushroom, you kind of bebop back and forth a little bit, and you end up staring into the water where you see a deep reflection of yourself. And it's almost like you're staring into your own eyes, which almost lets you stare deep into your own soul. And as you're staring, you feel this like weight come across your mind, and you start to feel yourself fall into a slumber, and then you just hear a voice, and it just whispers, "They're coming." be prepared, and
Prepared for what? For
then
the death of
you
the king.
feel yourself just fall down to your knees and curl up in a ball for an afternoon mushroom-induced nap.
Yep, that makes 100% sense.
Um, Marin, you yourself are also getting closer to Swazu. At least according to the
Mhm.
map that you were provided by Lalim, you can see that you're getting closer and closer to this X that they put on there, knowing this is the next stop on your search for what you're looking for. You yourself have been traveling for the better part of 9 days. Later this afternoon, it will have been 10, just based on the timing that you left and stopping for lunch and things like that. What have you been doing for the duration of your traveling?
So I will, well, assuming I escape the storm
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
that are supposed to, run away from,
Yes,
I
yes.
just along my way of traveling, I kind of, practice a little bit of wild shaping, try
Mhm.
to turn into various kind of animal that I could turn into,
Excellent.
in order to, on one hand try to catch, speed up the traveling a little bit, and
Mhm.
on the other hand try to learn this new founded ability that I just learned.
Yeah.
And from time to time it either goes from a deer to a hyena to a panda, um kind of just make his way towards the, you know kind of heading towards the general direction.
Yeah.
And if there are like any random people showing up, I will transfer back to my human form, just in case I got shot.
You after the first couple times of you being in animal form and then people kind of raising an eyebrow when you were a bear or a hyena and kind of changing quickly back into your normal shape, you kind of know the look of what people are going to give you when they're confused, and people aren't in this area at least inherently out trying to hunt you. They've seen people transform into animals before. This is a region where many Fae live, so they've seen Fae creatures. They've seen those of immense power transform into beings of immense power that don't always look like bipedal humanoids. So it scares a couple people, but a lot of folks are like, okay, it's just another person doing something that's not common, but it's not the rarest thing they've ever seen. Between that and kind of mastering your ability to summon your little fire elemental friend using your wild shapes as well, you get all of that training in for your travel period. And while traveling, today's weather, as you're getting closer to your goal, is very calm. It's very clear. You've been traveling through these forested Fay Hills now for a couple of days. It's gotten a little thicker, just based on your terrain. The forest is a little thicker than what it has been. Go ahead and you roll me a perception check, please.
Perception.
Great,
19.
great. As you are getting pretty close to your goal destination, you see off in the distance, maybe 100 feet or so, outside of the range of where you feel like your voice would reach, you see this larger than normal humanoid looking creature who has a javelin or a spear pulled out and then charges into the forest for seemingly no reason. But this is the first humanoid person that you have seen probably in a couple of days. You've had a pretty easygoing travel for the past few, and you've seen animals and other folk, but you haven't really seen any humanoids or any kind of bipedal figures in the last couple of days. People kind of been off doing their own thing. But yeah, you see this larger looming humanoid figure with a spear pulled out charge into the woods, and it kind of looks similar to one of the shapes that you saw or that Lalim told you about that you were looking for. What would you like to do? You can keep on going to the town. You can investigate this. What is your
Um,
plan?
okay, so I'm gonna assume that I haven't used any wild shape that day in
No,
order
you
to
have not.
travel. Okay. I'm gonna just, kind of try to figure out what I can transform into. Let me look through the list real quick. Um, I can be an ape. Unless I cannot be an ape.
You can
Because I'm
be
in the forest.
CR. You can be CR 1/4, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, a giant rat, a giant weasel. I'm gonna go ahead and just become a panther, I guess.
You can become. So if you click on extras on your D&D Beyond sheet, and
Okay.
then click on manage extras, you can then click that drop down category and click on wild shape, and then
Oh,
change the CR to 1/4 to 1/4, and it will give you the list of all the things you can change into. And then you can just click
okay.
add, and it puts them on your sheet for you, and then you have the whole stat block of that stuff. So I'll say the only things you can't transform into would be like a giant space hamster or any like dinosaurs right now. And then
I was about to say you're gonna
yeah,
say dinosaurs, aren't you?
right now, and then you can't, just based on your druid level, you cannot transform into anything that can fly or can swim yet. So
Yeah.
basically, land walking stuff right now. So
Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and become a mastiff,
all right, a
a
big
big
old dog.
puppy,
All
with
right.
a bag in his backpack. Apparently wearing a backpack
Hey,
because I don't think that goes anywhere.
the
I mean,
gear changes
that is
with you. So
adorable. So can we please imagine a mastiff with a little backpack? Because that is
yes,
all
yes,
I
you can.
want.
Yes, you can. I actually have one here somewhere. Where did it go? I had a mastiff with a backpack, shockingly token in my thing somewhere. I'll have to find it later because it's gone now. I don't know where it
Yeah,
went.
that's not a priority,
Yeah.
but it does bring me joy.
Yes,
I may
it's
also have it in my
that's fine.
library.
Yeah, if you have
We'll,
it, you
we'll
can
see.
get. But you, I'm assuming you transform into a mastiff and then follow into
Yeah.
the grotto. Okay.
It doesn't seem like that giant or that giant humanoid it's paying too much attention to the surroundings, so I don't have to be like stealth or anything, right?
Correct. They seem to be very quickly and aggressively charging into this reclusive area. So
Okay.
you can definitely follow them without being noticed.
Okay.
um,
I will
cool.
do that.
All right. As you make your way into this grotto, you also see large mushrooms of many different sizes, different colors. And we're actually going to do this real quick, and you should see if you get it. Oh, wrong one. We're going to do. Bam. All right. So you should now have access to a token on the board. Can you see the dog token on the board?
Let me refresh real quick. I still have just all black on my
Oh,
screen.
then let's do this. Bam. How about that?
There you go.
Cool.
Okay.
You should
Yeah.
have access to
I
that
have
that massive too. That little dog
yep.
token. Cool. As you make your way in here, you
Mhm.
see those mushrooms of different sizes, different colors, kind of pulsating somewhat. And you see the giant being that charged in here seems to be asleep in front of the pond.
Um okay, I'm gonna start approaching with I guess a little bit cautious.
Yeah.
Just slowly. And can I tell that he's like unconscious at this from this distance?
She seems very much asleep. So yes,
Okay.
you can. Does Genevieve snore? I guess is the question.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, especially if it's a mushroom drug induced sleep.
Yes. Great. Yeah, you don't even have to roll any type of check. You can just see that Genevieve is asleep.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to him or her,
Hmm.
and sniff a bit and see if
Yeah.
you know
As
what
you
is happening.
as you sniff, you smell the smell of a humanoid. Go ahead and make me a investigation check. You get to use your stats for that, so it should just be your +0.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. I added Mastiff onto the
Me
extras on your sheet too, so if you ever need to roll from that, you
2.
can. Yep, just smells like a sleeping large human. This humanoid is larger than an average human, um, but they look like they're just sleeping, holding a spear. So
Can I
Um,
take look at the sorry?
no, you're good. Go on.
Can I look at the mushrooms
Yeah.
like that's surrounding
Mm-hmm.
him because some of them looks huge.
Yes.
Can
Go ahead and you can either roll a nature or a survival check for the mushrooms.
I have a way better survival, so let's
Okay,
go with that.
do it. 19. So, looking at these and kind of feeling the magic, the Fey region, the Principality of Fey, has magic in the air pretty much 100% of the time, always. So you recognize the normal magic that's kind of floating around, the naturals, the arcane magics. Sometimes you hit divine every now and again. Um, but in this little glade where you guys are right now, it feels like a much more intense level of magic, and these mushrooms seem to be putting off this almost pacifying type of magic in that it pacifies you into unconsciousness if consumed. You can smell it and you can see it on them as a druid. So you know that likely the person laying on the ground in front of you ingested these mushrooms in some form. But you also do feel the magic surrounding you in this area feels very heavy, almost like it of itself is a weighted blanket that is just trying to curl you up and kind of press you down onto the ground. And I need you to go ahead and make for me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh boy. Con-
And this you have to use the Mastiff stats.
okay,
13.
so I'm gonna roll.
You can just use that roll, and I will just do the adjustment for it, which
It's
is
+1.
+1. So yeah, so it's just -2. All right, so it's 11, 10, same. That works. Um, as you feel the magic get heavier and heavier and weigh down upon you, you feel yourself start to almost have your strength sapped from you. Not in the way that you're taking damage or it's like a permanent removal of your stamina. Almost just like you're being lulled into a sense of security and comfort. And you feel this magical sleep kind of fall over you. And you yourself curl up like dogs do when they are ready for their afternoon snooze. And you yourself are laid to rest on the ground right there. No damage, no like negative effects. You just feel this magic force you into an induced sleep. And as you're kind of drifting off, you hear what you think is a slight laughing or cackling. And then on the wind, it's just, they never learn. Imric,
Okay.
you've been spending your last few days of travel have felt both incredibly lonely as you avoid many people, have been avoiding many people, and yet overwhelmingly full of thoughts and voices that aren't necessarily your own. And you've kind of channeled the energy and all of this noise that's in your head instead of trying to isolate each tonal difference, each voice, each thought that doesn't belong to you. You've kind of isolated it into one big grouping of white noise. And so you just seemingly have this constant white noise maker just in your head at all times. It doesn't impede you from sleeping, it doesn't impede you from doing anything to survive, but it's not necessarily the most comforting noise in the world. Um, so just imagine you have a white noise filter in your head all the time.
With a volume that I can't adjust.
Correct. You can choose to learn to kind of try to ignore it and drown it out as you're reading
Okay.
and as you're focusing, but it's enough that it's always noticeable, and if you stop and think about it, the white noise almost becomes a roaring volume. So you almost have to try to ignore it to not let your mind crack. But what have you been doing this whole time whilst traveling on your own?
Well, I think for a while I've just been replaying the memory in my book, just trying to get a full understanding of what happened.
Hmm.
But other than that, I think I'd start to write a letter to my father to ask him if he knows anything about the voice in the the entire situation that happened to me.
Okay.
And so I'd probably start writing that and like be prepared to just send that as soon as I get to Soizu?
Swazoo.
Swazoo.
um, yeah, you can certainly be writing and rewriting and trying to find the words in amongst this white noise snowstorm in your mind.
Yeah.
As
I'll
you,
sorry.
Very good.
I wrote the letter out. Can I send it to you
Oh
really
yeah, you
quick?
can send it to me.
And then I'll
Yes,
just
and then
send it like when
yeah,
we get there.
yep, and then once you arrive there, you can definitely find a place to mail it. That's for sure. There are no
Cool.
random mailboxes on the
Cool,
street in
cool,
the
cool.
forest. Um, but as you're getting closer and closer, you know, based on the directions that you were given, that you are mightily close to where you need to be. And as you're getting closer and kind of, you're not necessarily on the main path itself, you're kind of off a little bit so that you don't necessarily have to cross paths with people. As you know, having this
Hmm.
noise in your head doesn't always make it easy to have those open communications, especially with strangers. But you can see the path and you're within about 50 feet of it at all times, just for your own
Hmm.
safety. Um, but as you're getting closer, probably within 45, 60 minutes, depending on how fast you want to walk, all of a sudden, all the voices in your head silence, and a icy chill covers your body from top of your head to bottoms of your feet, and you're frozen in your tracks. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw as you start to feel your body kind of temporarily lock up, and the space time around you kind of just slows, but then kind of morphs. And you're getting flashes here and there of the same realm that you saw in your trip with the person that you had the conversation with before you were transferred back to the beach and back to the town you just came from. Everything kind of seems like there's cracks in space time almost. You're looking around and it's like the space around you kind of is turning to glass and starting to crack, kind of Doctor Strange esque with how the world kind of alters around them. And as you
Hmm.
are trying to like not lose yourself in this cracking of space around you, you see a few visions in these pieces of shimmering and changing pieces of reality. You see a giant person with a spear looking down deep into their soul in water, collapsing on the ground. You see a man turning into a large dog, following this person, sniffing at mushrooms and being forced into submission sleep. And as you look around, you see kind of magic flickering, almost like lights in the distance of their surrounding area. And then you feel this overwhelming sense of dread, danger, but urgency towards these two. And as you're kind of fighting against this imagery and trying to force your body out of its locked position, you see two darkened shadows in amongst these oversized fungi laughing and kind of moving towards these two unconscious beings. And you hear muffled screams in the distance, you hear laughing in the distance, and then all of a sudden your body unlocks and reality is back as it was, not seeming like anything, any time has actually passed. And you feel the urgency of protection towards these two creatures that you have never seen.
Okay. I am I do I still like see the creatures and stuff? Like I'm still able to
You
go.
can very clearly recall them, recall the images, and you feel,
Okay.
yeah, you feel the sense of direction that was pulling you towards Swazu to
Gotcha.
pulling you that way, and you feel this like almost this internal compass kind of leading you through your cracking of mental mental states.
Okay. And you said I heard muffled screams and
You,
laughter
yep,
too?
you heard muffled screams from a
No,
few different
sir.
voices and some laughter from other voices.
Yeah, we do not like that. But I'm going in that direction then.
Okay,
I
you
want to.
do you take it off in a full sprint?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I want to find the source of the laughing.
All right.
And these people, of
Yeah.
course.
You take off in a full sprint. You find a charged through thicket of vines and twigs that seem like they were probably grown together, but they have been smashed through. You see footprints. You see a trail of like humanoid footprints, followed by a trail of what look to be dog or quadrupedal footprints. And as you get to this area, you see everything that you see on the map. Um, and you see these two creatures sleeping over by this body of water.
Okay. I Can I have like a firebolt prepared at all times as I go closer to these guys?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And I want to like walk slowly and just like look at like where I'm stepping in case there's like traps, and just look around me at all times in case there's any more like of the creatures that I saw before, the ones that look like me.
Okay.
And then if I get over here and there's nothing happening, I'll just like sort of kick them as I'm just still like standing up ready to throw my firebolt at anything.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, wake up, come on.
As you kind of push, not to kick to damage, but kick to kind of like shake attention to, you you push the dog, and then you push this large humanoid that is also laying on the ground, and both you, Marin as a dog, and Genevieve, you feel yourselves being pushed and kind of awoken by a creature that you have never seen. I mean, as you guys look around, well, Marin, you look like. What does your mastiff look like? Let me ask you that, because right now this is all they see as far as the aesthetic of Marin. What does Marin as a mastiff look like?
I look. Well, let's just go with the image it's showing here.
Okay.
I'm in real life, I'm terrible with dog species, so it's gonna be difficult for me to describe it anyway.
You can just describe
But
what it looks like.
it's a I guess a darker. It's a weird card for a good dog. This is a black and white puppy, as the token showed, and he has I guess a leather strap to his body, like a bunch of leather harness that resemble the shape of a backpack, that hold a backpack onto his back, and you can see just on the outside there is a sickle that it's glowing red, and a scimitar that it's also that's kind of hanging on the harness, or the leather harness, that's strapped onto the dog's body.
Nice. You awake to this humanoid figure kind of pushing you awake with a piece of fire holding in their hand, which reminds you of the fire that you can hold in your hands, but looks different as it seems to be more condensed, almost in like a spherical ball form rather than like an open flame form. And Imric, what do both of these other two see as you kind of push them awake with your foot, trying to sense out danger?
So you guys see this like really tall, lanky humanoid figure, but instead of being a human, he has very dark blue skin, practically bald. He has very short spotches of white hair. And when you like make direct eye contact with him, he has blue eyes, but when he looks at a certain angle in like a different direction, they seem to turn green. And he's just wearing normal tunic, normal pants, no armor of any kind. Has a decent backpack, and he's he seems to just be on edge right now, holding this firebolt, looking around.
Genevieve, you wake up to a dog that wasn't there before, now beside you, waking up as well. This strange, deep blue colored humanoid holding a firebolt, looking around, trying to figure out what's going on. What do you do, and what do the others see when you wake up?
I mean, the thing is somebody just kicked me awake, and her first response to everything is aggression, and so I feel like she wants to pop out, and like, I guess her javelin was out, not her longsword, and she just is gonna like do like a circle around her, like nobody get any closer. As she like, this is like one of the things they probably train for is like being woken up and immediately fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I'm not going to have her actually attack you yet, but she is so ready to attack the person that just kicked her and has a firebolt ready to go. And she just like glares at you. The dog kind of goes underneath her radar a little bit, like he's just a cute little
Just a
doggo.
guy. Just a little guy.
He's just a little guy. He couldn't be possibly evil. He's just a doggo. So she assumes that the thing that woke her up was the other person looking thing and not the doggo that couldn't be the doggo.
As you
Oh, she also probably starts like swearing inside.
I need to find the soundboard.
as you kind of take in, all of you take in your surroundings, for a moment everything seems calm and magical and similar to what it was when you first entered this area. And then you start to hear like muffled screams that seem close but far at the same time. Then you start to hear this creaking, almost like the trees are moving. You feel the area around you become less magical, more oppressive, but not in the way that it was trying to make you sleep, in the way that it's trying to contain you and trap you. And you see that the thicket that you guys came through seems to be overgrowing at a very rapid pace. And the feelings that are coming over all of you include that of confusion, doom, shock, surprise, and not in a good way. As you kind of look around and try and take in where the muffled screams are coming from, you notice that there are 3 children tied to a mushroom tree with their mouths gagged and their arms and feet and legs all bound together. They look to be elven of nature of some sort. And as you're kind of taking in them being over there, you hear the laughter and you see it. And you see a bipedal, 2-legged creature with a sword and a short bow. And you see a creature step out of the tree that's down. We're going to go into initiative, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're in combat. It just means we're going to go into a turn order.
I forgot to click my thing.
That's all right.
I did the
I
thing.
thought
If you click it and roll it again, I'll just change the thing for you.
I always forget when I'm doing a D&D Beyond mostly sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll make it 19. All right. So you guys see these 3 children over here. And then you see these creatures over here. One of them looks to be very tree-like. Let me see if I can actually just pull up a picture of them.
Groot.
Groot. You see this coming out of the tree. And then you see this with a not standing on top of him, although that is kind of funny.
Very classy man.
You see a very classy man having a dryad stand on his head, because that's what he's about. You see what you all know to be a satyr. Genevieve, what is your initiative?
19.
All right, so your initiative modifier is +1, +0.
Oh, -1. Sorry.
-1. All right. Well, the dragon's gonna go before you because it's
Yeah,
faster than you.
That's fair.
Yes. So they see all 3 of you. You have your firebolt prepared. Now, Imric, I'll let you decide if you want to immediately throw it at these 2 folks or if you want to throw it towards the kids to try and break their bonds, or what you want to do. But you have to decide.
Okay.
Or you can not use it at all and hold it until it gets closer to your turn to see what happens. You can do.
Ooh, nah, I'm pretty jumpy right now.
Okay.
These kids they're tied up, right? They're not a threat.
Those are the ones that they're looking at you with wide eyes like they're scared and they're gagged and they're bound. They look like they're prisoners.
Okay, cool. Then I would immediately, as soon as these guys pop up, throw a firebolt at this guy.
At the bottom guy?
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
Yes, sir. Oh!
Oh boy.
Oh!
That's
We are good.
That's a pretty bold hit, Cotton.
Yes, sir.
Well, he was shall we say, not he's not pleased with that. It hits him real hard. It's a bold cut. All right. Well, seeing you immediately just whip a firebolt to him out of fear, his look of uncertainty now turned to that of outright anger. Let me find this. This should be. Yes. Yes. All right.
Maybe a mistake. Who knows?
Well, so seeing that you just threw a firebolt at their subordinate, their friend, you're not quite sure. You hear, do you speak Sylvan, Emmerich?
No.
Or does anybody
sir.
here speak Sylvan?
Nope. Ah, wait. No.
Okay. Well, you guys hear the tree person start to chant in a language that you do not recognize. And I need you, Imric, to go ahead and make me a DC 14 wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Okay.
Fantastic.
So, for the next, well, basically until it changes, you feel yourself magically friendly with the dryad. You feel at peace. You feel more at ease now that you have seen this barked female step out of a tree. You feel more at ease. You feel more comfortable. You feel that you may have overreacted at
For
the
real?
satyr, but you are considered magically charmed.
That's my homie.
And you, yes, you see this dryad as a friend, and they will step into the tree and appear over here, and they're well, they can go further than that, so they're gonna you see your homie step over here. Make sure I'm not going too far. Yep, just right. That's a good guesstimation.
Sweet.
You see your homie kind of step over, and you're like, all right, everything here is good.
Oh yeah.
We're good. We are good. Here's the ability. Oh, it's not showing up for you, but you were Fey charmed.
Cool.
Genevieve.
Muted maybe.
Genevieve.
Sorry, I was muted. I was having a coughing fit.
Oh, you're good.
Um,
You see
so-
Imric throw a firebolt. Or this humanoid that woke you up, throw a firebolt at the satyr-looking person. Then you heard some chanting from the lady who formed out of a tree, and the sense of anguish and fear that you saw over the person who woke you kind of eases, and they look like they look more friendly towards this other creature now, who then teleported.
So confusing, man.
yeah, so like the thing is like I want to start swinging at something, but I feel like the only thing that's actively been annoying to her is Imric, and I don't actually want to hurt Imric.
Go for it, man.
I
Do your thing.
I just feel like that's what she would do.
Hey, do it.
And I
Do
feel
your thing, man.
No, I think she's gonna move up to you and poke you with her javelin, cause you woke her up, and
Sweet.
that's for you. Waking up is 100% worth being killed over. Like that 100% fits in her.
Hell
her,
yeah, man.
her like ethics and balance of the world.
Can I cast shield?
Yeah.
I would love to cast shield.
You go-
Wait, I used my reaction. Never mind.
You did use your reaction.
Never mind. We're good.
You get
I'll
stabbed.
take it, man.
For 7.
Fantastic.
Jeez.
You get stabbed right in the butt.
Why would
Can
you
I-
wake me up? I was having a good mushroom nap.
Can my reaction just bark very loud?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you were stabbed and you were awoken.
I think that's
Yeah.
I think that's it for what
Okay.
I can do.
All right. So it's the satyr's turn, and the satyr is not happy that you threw a firebolt and woke him up. So he's gonna run up to you, Imric,
Mm-hmm.
And let me do this here. Cool.
This isn't good.
He's going to sprint at you and try and ram you with his horns.
Okay, for sure, for sure.
For an 11 to hit,
No, sir.
he rams and goes to charge, and you kind of just like step off the way, like, hey, buddy, it's chill. And he just kind
We're
of
all good, man.
stumbles a little bit. But since he did attack at you out of reaction to you throwing a firebolt in his face, you do get to make another wisdom saving throw, DC 14.
Oh, sweet. Okay, please. +1. I can do this. I cannot do this.
That will be his turn as he kind of looks at you and whispers something in Sylvan, but seeing as you don't speak Sylvan, you don't know what he said. All right. That's now your turn. You are considered charmed by the Dryad. All that means is you cannot attack the Charmer or target the Charmer with harmful abilities or effects, and they have advantage on checks against you. You weren't told to do anything, and you also still
Okay.
kind of revere this satyr as not a good dude because he just tried to ram
Cool,
you.
cool,
So
cool.
you can do whatever you wish. You just can't attack
Satyrs being
the other lady.
Well,
Yeah.
first off, I'm yelling to Genevieve. Hold on. I was here to help you. We are on the same side. I'm sorry. Just help us deal with this problem first.
I'm on the side of nap time.
I'm on the side of justice and naps.
And I'm sorry to my Dryad friend, but I'm gonna try to stab this. Or actually, better, I'm gonna use my telekinetic feet to try to push this guy 5 feet away as a bonus action.
All right. What's the save
Which-
he has to roll against?
Strength plus, so a DC 14 strength saving throw.
Oh Jesus. With his +1. He
on, baby.
rolls an 8.
Come on.
And he
Okay,
moves
fantastic.
10 feet away.
5 feet away.
You get a little bit of space.
And I will run this direction and
Okay.
chuck another ball of fire at him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm doing good today.
Christ. Yes, you
I
are.
am doing fantastic.
You just like a baseball whip this firebolt right into his face, and you see at this point
Dude,
it's starting to crawl up his skin, and it's kind of melting his skin and flesh a little bit, and his horns are starting to ignite a little, and he very quickly just like pats them out, and he is very displeased with you right now. Anything else on your turn? Any more movement?
after seeing how displeased he is, I'm actually going over here and hoping Genevieve believes what I've said.
All right. Doggo, it's your turn as the mastiff. What would
Okay.
you like to do?
So I have the ability telepathic. Does it take any action that I have to send a message to someone's head or say something? Or extra bonus action?
I'll say in combat you can do it as like a free action, just send one message. But if you want to send more than one message, it will be a bonus action to do more than one.
Okay, so if we're in so that
Yeah.
will take my
Yep. So in combat you can do one message for free, and you can get one response for free. And then if you do more than one, it will just take a bonus action.
Oh, I can I get a response?
I use it because I use this on my druid. I like to get
Oh.
responses back because my DM says yes. So I will just say that you can use it like telepathic speech, as long as it'll depend on the moment, and they might not respond to you. But I will say, because I think it makes more sense if you're telepathic,
Okay.
that they can respond to you if they want to. They just don't have to. Yeah, it's like the
Okay.
message. It's like the message cantrip, but in a much shorter distance, and it lets you communicate with more people, as long as they understand language. And like I said, they don't have to, but they can.
Okay, I will start heading towards this guy,
Mhm.
and meanwhile I will do a telepathic message to Genevieve. I just couldn't pronounce that. Be like, this is the dog. I think the other
This
one.
is the doll.
I think the other person is friend. Let's deal with the tree and the goat first.
There you go.
The gold refer to the one that I'm facing right now,
The
and
satyr.
I can do
I like it.
a bite
Do
bite
it.
attack.
I hope you crit on him as a dog. That would be hilarious. All right. Well, you do
That'll
bite
be
him
fun.
with a 19. That definitely goes through. And what's the strength save for? Is that to be knocked prone?
Not prone, yeah.
Um, Whisper. He rolls a 7. So not only is he shoved back, you get this message, Genevieve, from this is the dog,
This
who
is the dog.
who charges up to the satyr, bites them, and then pins him to the ground in the prone position. We're gonna do this because I think this looks neat. We're gonna put you. You're not technically sharing the same square, but I think that's more fun right there. So, anything else on your turn?
I think that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. All right. The Dryad's turn. All right. So, yeah. Seeing that you're actively right now on top of her subordinate and you are 30 feet away, she can move that. She's going to run up to the dog, and she's going to. You see that as she's running, she kind of grabs one of her branches, extends it, and casts Shillelagh on top of it. And you see that this branch starts to glow with this magical energy, and the end of it becomes like this bulbous club. And she's going to swing down on top of this dog to try and, or like more like under, like try and do like a golf club swing underneath the jaw of this dog to get it off of her compatriot. Does a 20 hit the dog? Yes, it does. And it will do 1d8 plus 4, which is 10 damage as the dog. So you see that she just golf club home runs this dog out of existence. But now on top of the satyr is a humanoid creature. So you take 5 damage because it carries 5 over because you had 5 as a dog. So
Okay, so 9. So
you just take 5 total damage because you got 10. You got hit with 10 damage as the dog, which only had 5 HP. So only 5 carries over to your normal form. So you take 5 damage.
okay.
Yeah.
So I go back to my human.
Yep, you're back to your human form, and you just take 5 damage in your human form. So whatever your HP is minus 5, it should, on your sheet, it should automatically change on your token, theoretically.
Okay. Try to learn how to use roll 20.
Yes.
There we go. On the roll 20.
There you go. And it changed on your token, too. Biggity boom. So now, Genevieve and Imrek, you see the dog after just being, like, basically punted with a club, just disappears out of existence. And what do they see now standing in front of them on top of the satyr? What you look like in this form?
You look like a person that he's a human. He is wearing leather armor with a green cloak, and all the leather strap that you saw on the dog earlier now somehow just start just dangling around him on the human body. And once he still has his what do I have? A sickle hanging on the belt and the scimitar hanging on the belt.
All right.
He has long hair. He looks kind of just like what the token is showing here.
All right. And that is its turn, and the satyr is still on the ground. Genevieve, you see the dog turn into a human and get attacked by a tree.
Okay, so here's the thing: is the dog told me to go fight that guy first,
All right.
but the dog is gone. Where'd the dog go? There's no dog.
Roll a, let's say, either Arcana or History check. Whichever you want. You know druids exist.
Okay.
You know people can change into animals and change back, so kind of putting 2 and 2 together in the heat of the moment, you think this person is probably some sort of animal shifter. Whether they're a druid or not, you're not sure, but you know the shifting is okay.
There's various ways you can shift into animals and then get hit and be not animals anymore.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. You know, she thinks about it for a second, and it does make more sense that it was a human talking to her than like a dog talking to her, and she's a little bit disappointed that dogs haven't learned telepathy. and I think she's gonna like glare at Imric and then like do the like I got my eyes on you like finger pointing motion, and then she's gonna go over and help dog friend.
All right. Cool.
Um,
And you can get in the. I just actually like touched my screen with my hand, like it was telling you where you could be.
yeah.
You can get into this.
That's the
You
other
can get
thing.
into that square right there. I'm like, oh wait, you don't know what that means. You can't see my hand. Yes, you can get there, no problem. And since he is prone, and you guys technically have them in the flanked condition, you have advantage, and the satyr has -2 to their AC from being flanked. So.
Whoop whoop.
Sweet.
On the subject of forgetting that people can't see you, the other day my players asked me which way does the door open, and I said, "Oh, it opens this way," and did a hand motion, and then they're all like, "You know that doesn't work. You have to tell us which." Anywho, while I was running, I'm going to put my javelin back into my backpack, pulled out my long sword, two-handed, and we're going for a two-handed advantage bonk here.
All right.
Big.
I think you have -2 to your damage when you're not using it as a one-handed weapon, right? I think it's a 1d10 plus like your strength, whereas you're one-handed with a shield, it's 1d8 plus strength plus 2, I think. I think with your fight,
Actual statements.
I think with your fighting style, that's what it does. Because when you're using a shield and a one-handed weapon, you get extra damage.
Oh, I thought I just got extra.
No, you get
AC.
+2 to damage when you, because you pick the dueling fighting style.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when you have, basically it's like a one-handed benefit. So if you have a shield and a sword out,
Oh,
you get +2 damage. It kind of makes up for the difference. So if you want to use it as a two-handed weapon, you totally can. It just makes your damage a 1d10 plus 3 instead of 1d8 plus 5.
Right. Okay, I'll do the 1d8 plus 5. That makes more sense.
Okay, cool.
I forgot to hit advantage after all that. We're gonna go with the first one.
Oh, yeah, that hits. Jesus. You
Boy damage.
you stab down into this satyr's chest, and it is no more.
I would like to have chopped its head off.
You can certainly do that. And as you
Beautiful.
chop its head off, you see the dryad looks horrified and starts screaming. And in the screaming, the charm that is over you, Imric, fails, and you see that this dryad, who looked beautiful in all of their bark and kind of autumnal leaves and coloration, all of the leaves wilt and fall off and turns into, like, you know what trees look like in the winter when all their leaves fall off? She
Yeah.
looks like that, and all of her limbs kind of extend an extra 3-4 feet. All the branches on her kind of stretch out, almost like spider legs and limbs, just splintering off of her in different ways. And her shrieking sounds like, inside of your head and outwardly, sounds like someone just, like a tree that has just been chopped that is falling to the ground slowly, and you hear the wood continuously creak and crack and creak and crack. Anything else on your turn, Janvier?
No. Did I hear that as well, or was that just
You did hear that. Marin, what
Great.
was your initiative? Because it went away when I took the dog away, like a dumb. You
it
were
was-
6. You were 6. I got you.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, everybody heard the winterization and screaming of the tree. So,
cool.
Emmerich,
Okay, well, I'm not charmed anymore.
you are not. You now know that this person is not a friend,
Yeah.
and that you
okay.
were charmed.
Okay. Well, then I think I'm gonna stay where I am since I'm a pretty decent distance away. But maybe that's a bad thing because I can teleport. But who cares? And I'm just gonna chuck another firebolt at a tree, which makes sense.
As you throw the firebolt at the tree, it hits it, but the bark seems to be quite thick, and it doesn't seem to take hold. And the 14, while hitting, doesn't hit the AC.
It
It hits
Okay.
her, but a 14 doesn't do enough damage to break through.
Gotcha.
But let me check one thing here, because I think it is that. So let me. She gets a Yes, she rolled a Constitution saving throw, and you see as the firebolt hits it and the bark kind of like magically shimmers for a second, it doesn't crack, and so the fire does not take hold.
Gotcha.
So.
Gotcha. And yeah, I'll stay where I am.
Okay.
I'm just gonna ignore these children.
Anything you wish to do on your turn, you can use your meta magics if you roll the dice, or you have your bonus action. Anything you wish to do.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm good.
All right. Marin, you see the satyr now headless beneath you. The dryad screaming beside you. What would you like to do?
After I see the firebolt hitting
Mm-hmm.
the big trunk of tree, I will kind of just whisper, "That's not how you start a fire." And then I speak out loud to the tree. You look like perfect firewood as I cast Burning Hand.
Oh shit.
Ooh, damn.
Deck save
Uh,
15. All right. They do have advantage on saves against magical effects, and it's a deck save. They rolled a 13 and a 15, so the 15 damage will get reduced by half, but they do take 8 damage, and it's what, a 15-foot cone? Because I just want to see what this looks like. I'm going to flat, and we're gonna do this.
Yeah, might as well light the entire forest on fire.
Oops. Right?
Oh
No
yeah,
snapping.
man. Burn it all down.
Yeah, it basically goes out to like here.
Whoa. Wait, you can do cone stuff?
Yeah, if you click on the little line option there that you can measure with, you can click it and it goes lines. You can do squares, you can do circles, you can do beams that look like that, and you can turn off the snapping and stuff too. So there you go. But yes, you do 8 damage to her. She's not very pleased about it. And let me roll a con save to see if she maintains concentration on the spell. She rolls a 13. So she rolled a 6 and a 13, but she rolled a 13. Anything else you would like to do on your turn?
So looks like the fire damage is not like causing too much issue for tree. At this point.
So it looks like it did damage. She just moved out the way and got just to the edge of it, so she passed her save. So she took half damage. Yeah, she wasn't resistant or anything or weak to it. She just passed her save for the dex. So yep.
I'm gonna turn. Walk
Okay.
around,
Cool.
turn around to get here.
All right. The dryad. Anything else in your turn?
No, that's on.
All right. So the dryad on her turn is not pleased that you just tried to set her on fire. Is going to turn towards you and try and bludgeon you again with her shillelagh club. She rolls a 19.
Yeah.
All right. So she'll do 7 damage as she just boom. You catch another hit to the jaw from the club. And then she is going to step here to the corner of you, use 10 feet of movement, and fall into this mushroom tree. And is going to teleport to here, thinking that's a good escape route for her. And you see Genevieve, she kind of falls into this tree as it kind of opens into this door. Both you and Emmerich see it, and she falls into it, and then you see the tree close, and you hear the bark screeching and ripping open over here, and she steps out of it to, well, she's there, but she's in front of the tree right there. Hoping that's enough for her to run away, she's now got her back to you and is planning to try to keep tree striding. But it is her turn now.
Is that like tree screaming thing like normal? That seemed not normal.
Well, you don't know. I don't know if you've seen people tree stride before, at least in her screamy wintry form.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, she's trying to run, but she's there.
Okay, what wrongs has this dryad done against us?
Well, she killed your dog and then hit your friend, and she charmed another person without their consent. And
You're right, fuck her.
Tied up children.
and there are
next
tied
to
up
us.
and there are tied up children
Yep,
right over there.
Yep, she's got it done.
So
I just have to make sure. So I'm gonna run after her.
I like to think that Genevieve was like, all right, bad thing she did, and just makes an open and verbal list. It's like boom, boom. All right, death. All these plus plus
Okay.
plus plus equal death. So,
Yes, sir.
um,
100% that accounting just happened. 100%. Um, so now that we've decided that death is the thing, um, we're gonna go and I'm gonna run after her.
okay.
And I'm gonna do a little boop with my longsword.
Boop. That's
Jesus,
not a little boop.
that's a big old
That's a
boop.
loud boo.
That's a
That is
loud
not
boop.
a little boop.
All right,
You sure?
give me that damage.
Just
Christ.
one-handed.
Not a little boop. Not a little boop.
As you run up and you're just like, no, not today. Wham! You slash down across the back of this dryad, and as you split her open and chop her like a tree, she had 14 HP left.
God
Woo!
damn.
That was not, in fact, a little boop, but yes, and you guys
I'm
have
going. I'm
killed
going
her.
to like turn around, sword in hand, point my sword over at Imric and say, "You next!" And I'm just gonna slowly start walking
Hold
towards.
on. Hold on. I was here to help you. I'm not with them. And I don't know what the deal is with these children. We are on the safe side.
Not gonna lie, she has totally ignored the children this entire time and looks over at like children, like, "Oh, hello, children."
You see that their eyes are real big and they're kind of quiet for a second, and as they take in the fact that their likely captors are no longer of this plane, they are like trying to talk to you through gagged mouths.
Continuing to point my sword at you, Genevieve is going to walk towards the children and say, "Your judgment shall be decided later." And then walk towards the children and like
Okay.
never totally turning her back to you, but she's gonna start taking the gags off the children and
I'm just like
she's gonna
holding my hands up right now. I'm not doing like anything threatening here.
I'm gonna slowly move between two of them for now.
Thank you.
As you untie the first child, they help you untie the other two. And as you're looking, you see that these are elven-looking children. They are Eladrin. Two of them seem to be more spring Eladrin. The one to your left and the one directly beneath you. Their skin seems to be more of like a lightish green hue. They have tiny little flowers that are sprouting from them. Their hair has like leaves that are growing in it. They look more vibrant in their coloration. They both seem to be young men elves, and you see the third Eladrin seems to be a more orange toned and red haired, with like brown leaves and vines kind of wrapping around her neck and her arms, with like more of like autumnal coloration to her skin and to her hair. Um, Taller than the other two, and the three of them, once they get their hands unbound, their feet unbound, and the gags off, they kind of stretch out, make sure each other's okay, and then they all look at you and like, thanks. Are they gone? Are they gone?
they are gone. Tell me what they did to you, and I will decide if their sins have been atoned for enough by their deaths.
The the elves all kind of look at each other, and the one to your left, this Spring Eladrin, kind of goes, see, they kidnapped us, and I don't know what they were going to do, but they had us tied up here, and I think they were going to try and steal our magical power for something. I don't know. They mentioned draining life force and selling us and using us for labor, so I'm not quite sure. I think their plans were misguided. I think they didn't know what they were going to do. I think they took us and then wanted to figure out what to do later. But we've been tied up for a few days now, and they've been killing folks that have come in here. And they kind of point over. They point over to the lake over here, and you see that there is in fact a few different skeletons in the water.
Damn.
looks like they have been killed, and
Jeez.
they were killing and robbing folks. So maybe that was their plan. Maybe they were using us as bait to sacrifice to some deity. I don't know, or just maybe they were just bad people that are kidnapping children and robbing folks. I don't know.
Can't have been bait. We didn't know you were here until we came in here. Okay, so bait doesn't make any sense. But they were bad people, and now they are dead. This
Well,
is good.
well, they were strong nature magicians, I think. So I don't know, but thank you. My name is Narkith. This is Deiphus and Chavre. We are ever in your debt. And is there something that we can do to repay you, or are we good to go home?
Where are you guys from?
Oh, we live not far from here. We all live in Swazu. We're friends. We go to school together, and we were out just enjoying nature like we do, and then we got taken. So
How many of them are there? Were these two the only two people?
uh, they were the only two that took us. I don't know if they're working with other people. We didn't see anybody else. Those were just those two.
Um, and at this point, Marin kind of stepped next to Genevieve and he pull out some of the ration that he has and kind of hand it to the kids.
Oh,
And be
they
like,
they snatch
"You
it from
eating
you
or not?"
real fast and break it apart and start eating it. They look like they're very hungry.
And so as they are eating, I will turn to the Goliath and the other human and be like, "My name is Marin. Um, I need to go to the town that they are from. So, the, I don't know if you guys want to be part of the journey."
Uh, yeah, I'm Imric. I assume we all need to go there, right? You guys were
Why would you assume that?
because I assume
Hmm?
you guys were also sent here by the voice guy, right?
Voice guy? What voice guy?
I got sent here by a fire guy.
By a fire guy.
Yeah, you
Uh,
don't want to
Not.
believe it. It's crazy.
Do you guys? Okay. Do you guys have like? Did you have a voice in your head telling you to come to Swazu?
Yes, it was my voice that told me to come here because my tribe told me to come to Swazu.
A voice guy, a fire guy, and a guy or tribe guy told us all to go to the same town.
Oh shit. Okay. Never mind then. Did
Um,
are are we all good? And I'm looking at the big Goliath who may or may not still be pointing the sword at me. I I didn't mean any harmful intentions. I was sent here to help. I did my best. I'm not no bad intentions.
yeah, he probably found us passing out on the ground earlier.
It's a good thing he did wake you up because they were probably gonna tie you up too and keep you captive and maybe kill you as well. So yeah,
Gonna look over at the kids. Do you believe that his crime has been atoned?
yeah. Did you see the
They're
fireball?
gonna be my jury.
Did you see the fireballs they threw at the Horn Man? Of course, that was cool. Yes. I think he's forgiven. All he did was wake you up. And yes,
I
I
could
get it. Chevry over there, Shavy, she gets real mean when she gets woken up. And just as before that sentence comes out of his face, you just see a whap, a big old hand comes across the back of the
Damn.
head.
Damn.
You're right, and don't be waking me up. She has a very gruff voice for a teenage lady. He's like, ouch.
um, um, Genevieve like nods approvingly at this response from this teenager. Like, yes, your honor was being besmirched, and this is the correct response. Good job. Um, and so she's gonna turn towards um Imric and say, This jury has decided that your crimes are not worthy of death. Yet. So we shall continue to put your crimes on the ledger until a decision has been made.
So are you saying he's
Je
on
m'appelle Geneviève.
Is he on probation?
She's gonna turn around. Yes. Yes, he's on probation.
I don't think you should wake anybody up again. Even if there's danger, that might get you killed, sir.
Lesson learned. We are good.
But yes,
Marin,
go on.
sorry.
No, you're good.
Marin gonna look at Emric and Genevieve, who I also still don't know the name of, and be like, "Have we met before?"
Me and you?
Yes.
I've never met anyone as short as you two.
Yeah, this is my first time seeing you guys.
No, that's all good. As I don't know why that question come through my thought. Yeah, and then I walk towards Emric and cast go ahead and cast Cure Wound.
Oh snap!
Oh.
7
Not
healing.
very much.
That's your whole. That's his whole health restored.
Thank you.
What a bro.
Right. Chilling, being bros.
Why do you ask if we've met before?
It's gonna be a long story. I think we should get somewhere that's a little bit more.
Do you have a feeling of deja vu?
Yes, I do. It's gonna be a long story.
Huh. Okay.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry, what was your name? To the
My name is
person threatening me.
Oh, Marin.
Well,
My name is Marin.
nice to meet you, Baron. But our other friend over here.
Geneviève. Can call me Jean though. Most.
Oh, that's a better, easier way to say.
Gee. Gotcha. Well, nice to meet you, G. Are you also going to Swazu?
I am.
Would you want to travel together? Escort the children back home? It sounds like we all need to go there.
Well, I was told that I had to find 2 shorter people, and then she looks over to the children and she's like, "This seems more like more than 2." So now I'm not sure who I'm supposed to be traveling with. You know?
Probably not us because we weren't supposed to leave the town. So we're definitely all gonna be grounded when we get home. Could you take us there?
You are more than welcome to stay out here.
I'd rather not.
You'll need to face the wrath of your parents back.
I would rather face that than get kidnapped again.
That's fantastic.
What crime would you be grounded for?
Leaving the city, unprotected.
Weren't you kidnapped?
This calls for execution.
We were kidnapped outside of the city. We weren't supposed to
Oh.
leave. Yeah, we left.
of course.
We left without a person tending to our protection.
My apologies. A fair consequence for your crimes.
Yes, that means I'm gonna have to wash the dishes for a month. That's too much. Would you guys take us back? We would appreciate it.
I think that's a great idea.
You know the way, right?
We can
No,
show. We
yeah.
can show you. We can show you. We do live there.
Okay.
Yeah, we know. We know.
That's all I need.
Oh yeah. Anything else you guys wish to do in this little glade grotto?
Taking a look at a
Can I
pond,
go
maybe?
investigate the font satyr guy?
The Bowdies, yeah. Roll me a
Yeah.
investigation.
I am no good at that.
You see that he has on him his short bow, a short sword, a pan flute, and 6 silver pieces.
Alright, I'm gonna take the 6 silver pieces and the pan flute, and then I'm gonna ask if the other people want the other things.
Do either of you want a short sword or a short bow?
I'm okay.
Then I guess I'll take them to try to sell them.
Okay.
Question mark.
Yeah.
Short sword.
And if you look at the dryad's body, you see that all they have on them, because they don't have pockets or anything, because they're pretty much a tree, they have.
You know, this is just classic women's clothing. It never has pockets.
Oh,
It's
real.
true, they don't. They just have a bunch of berries that seem to be hanging off of their person. So they're magical berries. So
Magic berries.
I mean, as someone who walked in and immediately ate a mushroom, I feel like I would also take the magic berries.
do you immediately eat a magic berry?
Drugs.
I don't know if I'm gonna immediately eat it. I think I'm gonna look at it first, having learned my lesson in the past 10 minutes.
As you look at it, it seems like a harmless berry.
Oh, just a plain old berry.
Seems magical,
Okay.
but harmless.
I'll just take them with me for now.
Okay. All right. So you have 6 berries.
How good are they?
They are quite good berries.
That's what I thought.
Yummy.
They are 6
Good
good
berries.
berries. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you guys head towards the town. They're just waiting for you to give them the A-OK. Let's go, and they will lead you where you need to go.
Yes, sir.
I don't see.
They
Could
kind.
I?
Yes.
Sorry.
Go on.
Could I use my herbalism kit to slice a piece of mushroom
Yeah.
Just-
Sure.
in case to
Yeah.
examine?
Yep.
in the
You
future?
can. Yeah. You can slice a big piece of mushroom, and you can take just like a handful of smaller mushrooms if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that and try to pack them in a bag. That's
Oh yeah.
not touching
You.
anything else.
Yeah. You have the space for that. No problem. And you can always use like the larger leaves and some of the natural materials that are around here to make like a little holder, a little like container to hold them in. So you can put pieces of mushroom in your bag that aren't touching anything else.
Grilled mushrooms are fantastic.
As you are led from this small darkened glade by these 3 Eladrin, they lead you for about 45 minutes to an hour to where you're going. And as you start to approach the gates of Swazu, you guys see this first.
Whoa.
You see tall Viridian trees gently bustled from the refreshing breeze blowing through the air. You see the sky draped in gradients of reddish orange kind of surrounding the town, going from reddish orange to soft indigo. You see that it almost looks like the town itself is encompassed in perpetual twilight. You hear distant sounds of birds and rodents kind of frolicking, coming in and out of their homes and their burrows. You see leaves swaying in the wind, shifting in hues and becoming more rusted in color, going back to being bright greens and just kind of floating between the natural colors of trees. You see, as you're kind of just feeling almost mesmerized by this, a small chill kind of encompasses over all 6 of you. And the kids go, all right, we're ready to go in now. And they lead all of you in through the main gates of Swazu, and they lead you down the main path into the split courtyard of here.
Whoa.
As you get here, they're like, well, we need to go find our parents because we're probably in a lot of trouble. Feel free to look around the town. You'll kind of find whatever you need. This is the main road in and out. There are some other roads, but they just kind of lead to little neighborhoods where people live, and like farms and stuff. But we gotta go. Thank you again. If you see us around town, feel free to stop us. I'm sure our parents will find you and thank you. But we are in so much trouble. And you see it.
Do
They
you
all.
want us to walk you to your parents?
No, we're good. And they all split off in different directions, and they all kind of just run away. So, you
He looks
guys.
over to the other 2 and says, "How will we see them around town if they're going to be grounded?"
That's a great point. I don't think we're gonna see them again. But man, look at this place. Emmerich is just like walking around, eyes going everywhere, because he's never seen the place like this before.
Has Marin seen this kind of like large city?
So this of itself seems like it's quite not. It's about the size of a small village. This is about the actual size of the primary portion of the village. There are some housing and farms outside of it, but this is the main hub of this village, and it's not very big. It looks like maybe 100 people live here, tops. It's quite small. You've seen villages this small before, but not one that's built kind of like this. It looks like in the middle of this of Swazu there is a giant tree where they've built a fountain in front of, kind of like how you can see, and you can't see the tops of this tree. The tops of this tree are hundreds of feet high. It looks like the roots are likely what is giving the structure to all of these buildings. It almost looks like this village is built on top of a massive trunk of a tree, and this is a sapling of this tree growing hundreds of feet out of the corpse of its predecessor.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Can I take out my my talisman and cast locate creature on
Yeah.
the off chance that I'm able to find the person that I'm looking for
Yeah.
within the 1,000 feet or something ridiculously small?
1,000 feet. That's like the whole city. You cast it, and while you don't feel their presence in particular, you feel a very, very faint essence of one of them, and you're not quite sure who. The talisman kind of vibrates a little bit, like it has located something, but it's a very, very weak location. Almost like it's a faded essence of something that was once here, but no longer is.
I gotta go that way. What way do you guys gotta go?
I'm sort of just here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. I think I'm supposed to just wait.
Well, then why don't you go that way with me? That way I can keep my eye on you.
Are you guys looking for
Sure.
someone?
Not me.
I am.
Whoa. Well, me too. And I think I already found them.
Is it the tree?
No, it's and I kind of do a hand gesture to these two people that I have been traveling with for the
Wait,
past.
Us?
you were looking for us? And she
Me?
starts to pull out her sword a little bit.
Well, like I say, it's a long-ish story. I was told by a fire spirit, I think maybe a deity, existent, to come to this place and to look for two people. And he told me that these two people will probably help aid me on my future journey. As far as I can tell, I have found them because he showed me an image. Well, I don't think animation exists in this world, so I should rephrase it.
I was gonna say you got like a very strong outline of the shapes of Emmerich and Jean. And as you kind of think back on the imagery that you were shown, it was almost like a flaming shadow that you saw of the two of them. But as you kind of focus in your mind, kind of try and put the images of them in, like it's trying to like put a circle block into like a circle hole. It kind of like the shapes of them fits almost flush over the images that you recall. So you do feel like these are the people that you were sent to find.
So I will be like, so I was shown that one of them will be yay size, kind of using my hand to do an outline, and the other one will be yay size. And so far I have not found an alternative. So
There are other people my height, you know.
Yeah, I know,
Are
but
there?
not often
I've
that you
never
find
seen them.
someone pass out in a forest, like on the way of your traveling.
Like,
Well, if neither of you have anything else to do in town, I'm going that way.
okay.
I'll
Like,
follow.
I'm
you-
pretty tall, but I've never seen someone as tall as you before. Which is it's a compliment. It's a very, you have presence.
As like not a very tall person who definitely has like a hunched shoulders, like lack of presence normally in her tribe. Like you say that and you see like her posture just like changes. And she just like nods at you regally, like, yes, I do have presence.
It's like, you're not my new best friend. As you start walking towards the light presence that you felt, which takes you kind of out this way, you pass a big center board that is, I'm gonna draw a little square. It is basically right here. It's just like a post board. And you see on there, it has like arrows pointing in different directions for shops and whatnot. You see there is your town speaker residence, which is kind of like the mayor's house. You see there's one that says Artisan Sanctuary, stores present, and it lists off the types of stores in the Artisan Sanctuary. One being an alchemist, a herbalist, another being a blacksmith, a third being a chef, and another being a tailor. So they're more of like professions within this sanctuary. You notice there are postings for the ability for people to put jobs and requests up on here. 2 arrows that point to the residential regions up here, down here, and some houses within the community here, like this wooden looking house and this wooden roof of a house here. Hold on, I think somebody just knocked on my front door, and I don't know why.
Pizza delivery.
No, hold on. All right. So there is the residential of up here and down here, and some houses that you got like right here and right here. You also see on this board, it talks about how there is a library and a tavern and an inn. And then one of the buildings is also a multi-purpose facility. And it tells you, like the Eladrin, it can change its purposes on a whim. And the current purpose of this multi-purpose facility has like carnival and festival games going on, with the most popular being magical bowling. I don't know if you've ever played Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, but think of magic of bowling like that. So you can win prizes. It's a bunch of fun stuff to keep the young folks entertained, but you feel a sense of the detect person up here, up this way. So
Well, I'm going that way.
So,
all right.
I guess I'll come with.
Okay.
I guess I will follow.
All right. Well, as you guys make your way up there, and the kids pointed out that that's the general farming location too before they took off to go get grounded. You know that you're heading up towards the farming, more natural areas of the outer portions of this town. But with that, we will pick up here in a couple of weeks. You guys level up to 3 now, and then we'll pick up. You guys will be level 3. So, all right.